billion annual slush fund that has been fully weaponized against the American people. We have these democracy promotion programs that define our own elected government as a threat to democracy. At some point, we had two choices. Either you keep USAID or you create a new USAID to stop the actions that the previous one was doing. And so now, under the gun of their funding being cut and the entire ecosystem being cut, they're finally being brought to the negotiating table. And frankly, many of them are groveling on their knees.
And the left-wing media is talking about how psychologically difficult it is for these federal employees because they have to do things like go to work. They might have to tell their boss what they're doing. They might not be able to engage in coups and stuff in other countries with this funding. A tiny little violin. But I'm going to give you the other side. For those of us who've been the victims of psychological warfare, as Dr. Malone would say in his great new book, this PSYOP of misinformation, destruction, I think a lot of us are psychologically damaged. I'm not saying that because we're whippy, or we're psychologically damaged by all this work that the government, including these media companies, have done. Is that overdramatic?
I actually think that's right, but the other side of that is what they call, when they run these psychological operations, psychological resilience, which is the idea that you need to build up an inoculation against psychologically. And I actually think that's where we are right now. There are a lot of harsh realities that are dawning on the American people with the veil of covert operations and quasi-overt USAID covert activity cloaked under NGO work. But the fact is I think it's been an incredibly responsible response from the American people. I think that most in ancient civilizations where they'd hear about this, it would be a lot more drastic action than the simple defunding. But the fact is
would it be beheading? What are you trying to say?
Pro-democracy wellspring. We would liberate this country. But the fact is this is all being done in accordance with rule of law. It's all being done with incredibly immaculate technical implementation from Elon Musk and Doge. It's being done with vision and foresight from the White House. I've been incredibly impressed. J.D. Vance, the shot heard across Europe, frankly around the world. We've really assembled an all-star team, and there are almost no weak links in the chain. And I think the fact that we are all so united in this moment, the fact that the coalition is so broad, has made it really hard for opposition to actually find a surface area of attack. And I think with they weren't wrong to call it shock and awe with all the dramatic action that's happening right now. So they're now being sequestered, losing the court of public opinion, losing their censorship capabilities.
Losing some donors.
Losing donors and losing a weaponized Justice Department that was always their fail-safe in case anyone got too brave. All they're left with now are New York judges.
So we ask ourselves this all the time, which was you have a conference, which is important to have a good conference. And by the way, you honor us with your presence. Thanks for being here. Do you love this guy or what?